Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Ransomware Pearl Harbor. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our free channel. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. I'd also like to tell you about HollywoodIsCalling.com. It's a great service that allows you to purchase live phone calls from more than 100 celebrities for just $19.95. So give it a try. HollywoodIsCalling.com. Now, let's get started. Recently, the US was attacked by what we believe was a Pearl Harbor level event employing ransomware. For those of you who don't know, ransomware is malware or a virus that is planted illegally in a computer or a mobile device that can disable it completely and prevent you from accessing whatever information you have on your system. Payment for this ransom is usually demanded in Bitcoin so that it makes it a little more difficult to track down the criminals. Now, hackers are now targeting the computers of individuals, businesses, government agencies, utilities, hospitals, infrastructure, and federal, state, and local governments with these ransomware extortionistic demands. This most recent ransomware attack hit more than 1,000 businesses. One overseas company that was involved had to shut down 800 of their grocery stores because none of the grocery store cash registers would work. They made the mistake of connecting all their cash registers to the internet. And so what did that do? That allowed the criminals online to access the registers and shut everything down and then demand a ransom. Now, what was interesting about these ransomware attacks is that they're growing in scope and scale, and none of the antivirus companies appear able to stop them. Now, there are millions of people and companies out there that have purchased antivirus software for their computers or their phones, and it doesn't appear that most of them, if any of them, can stop these attacks. It used to be that people and companies could protect themselves with security systems for their buildings or property, but now the criminals just appear to come in whenever they want over the internet and seize control of everything online, and then they force you to give them money, or they'll literally electronically destroy everything that you have, all the data, all the equipment, gone. So if the hackers were able to hit 1,000 businesses, then ask yourself a question. How difficult would it be for them to hit 100,000 or 1,000,000 businesses or 5 million businesses around the world? Well, the nature of software robots and ransomware that engages in these kinds of attacks is such that it can be very easily scaled up. Going from attacking 1,000 businesses to attacking 1,000,000 businesses is just a matter of altering some software code and instructions. And if they can attack 1,000 businesses, what's to prevent them from taking out entire cities or entire states or the entire eastern coast or the western coast? They've already attacked hospitals and oil pipelines, and by doing that, they made it very difficult to purchase gas recently. If they can do that, then just imagine what else they can do. In World War II, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor and knocked out the Western Fleet and damaged our military dramatically. And that was all just done in very little time. It probably didn't take more than an hour to destroy all that equipment, all those people, all that infrastructure. But here's the thing. With ransomware, they can attack much more infrastructure and conduct the attack over a prolonged period of time, days, weeks, months. The Pearl Harbor attack took approximately an hour. A ransomware attack can take place over a very long period of time. They can torture you systematically with an organized attack that prevents your grocery stores from opening for days, weeks, or months at a time, prevents you from getting gas for your car for days, weeks, or even longer. They can knock out your ATMs and your banks. Just imagine if you could not access your funds for a protracted period of time. They can shut off your water. Oh, you say you have bottled water in the house? Do you have enough bottled water in the house to last 6 months? If they can shut off the water, then they can also shut off the gas that keeps your house warm in colder climates. How long would you survive without heat? This sort of ransomware attack can literally paralyze an entire city. So what can you do to protect yourself? First of all, stop opening all email attachments from people you know and people you don't know. I mean all attachments. If you get pictures from your grandchildren, do not open them. Don't open them on your phone. Don't open them on your computer. Assume that every email attachment sent to you has somehow been compromised by malware or a virus. Now, I know what you're thinking. These are my grandchildren. These are my kids. These are my friends. These are my coworkers. They would never do that. Well, of course they wouldn't. They wouldn't do it knowingly. But the malware or the virus that now inhabits their computer or their phone is there without them knowing it. And it's sending out malware to other people on their contact list, like you. And this is designed to appear as though it's coming from a friend. So remember these words. Do not ever open attachments from anybody. Next, don't leave all your money in the bank. Hide some cash somewhere nearby in case your bank is hit by malware and you can't access your cash. How long could you go without cash? Most people couldn't last very long at all. Keep some extra food and water at home, just in case the local grocery stores are all hit out and you can't access them for weeks or months at a time. By the way, make sure you never let the gas on your vehicle go below the halfway mark, because if your gas stations are hit again the way they were recently, then you may have trouble getting home if you're low on gas. If you own a business, then I think you should immediately start putting a plan into place to disconnect its critical and vital functions and administration from the internet, so that if there is another attack, you won't be affected, because now your major, highly important, mission critical systems are no longer accessible via the internet. One of the reasons the grocery store chains overseas had to close 800 of their locations was because their cash registers were all connected to the internet. And so they were all attacked, they were all knocked out, and they couldn't conduct business. Now, I know this is what the moronic executives of our time think is absolutely mission critical. We must attach everything to the internet. We must attach all devices, all databases, all software. You know, it's called the Internet of Things. And while you think you're being progressive and you think you're being state of the art, all you're really doing is opening up more pathways for the software robots to come in and steal from you. I believe that disconnecting from the internet and strengthening your business from ransomware is now more important than having a burglar alarm or a security guard in your building. Another thing you should do is to change your business model so that from a safety and security perspective, you can go back to operating the way you did decades ago when most things were offline. Ask yourself, do you really need to know what your cash registers are doing on a minute-by-minute basis back at corporate? Do you really need to be able to watch and control and monitor everything your employees are doing over the internet at every location on a minute-by-minute or hour-by-hour basis? No, you don't. This is just what the idiotic, overpriced management consultants have sold you on. They've forced you to believe that everybody else is doing it. You should too. So trust me, it's not necessary. There are all sorts of workarounds to close those attack avenues on your business. Now, another thing that you should eliminate immediately is any CEO or executive that doesn't think that ransomware is a grave and existential threat to your business. That thinks, well, we already spend money on IT security. We don't need to spend any more. Grab this moron and shove him out the door immediately. Why? Because he's going to cause the destruction of your company. If you don't increase your security and your anti-ransomware efforts immediately with state-of-the-art technology, then it's only a matter of time before you get hit by a ransomware attack that'll be so severe, cost you so much business, cause you to lose so many clients, and cause so many people to sue you that you will rue the day that you listened to that moron who told you, yeah, don't bother spending any more money. We're good. Don't think of this as a security problem or a computer problem. Think of ransomware as a silent war that is being waged against you every day and every night. You also need to order your IT department to conduct daily scans of all their data backups to make sure your backups have not been infected by ransomware as well. Now, you're going to have to hire more people because this is a laborious task, but do it. It'll save you millions down the road. Remember, the question is not if you'll be hit by ransomware, but rather when and how prepared you should be. And don't be like that idiotic hospital administrator who was on TV recently talking about how he's not going to give in to the ransomware people who are demanding, I think they were demanding $50,000 or $100,000 from him. He's not, his pride and his professionalism will not allow him to give in to the ransomware extortionists. So what did this bonehead do? He spends $20 million rebuilding his entire IT infrastructure. Genius. The other thing to remember is that ransomware doesn't have to just come in through your computer system. It can and often does attack you through your phones. So the same rules apply to phone usage. Do not open any attachments on your phones from anybody. If Jesus Christ himself sends you a text message with an attachment, do not open it. Nobody. If your dead mother suddenly sends you an email with an attachment on the phone, ignore it. So with that, I want to thank you for watching. I want to tell you that we're going to have more great celebrity interviews coming up and more breaking news stories. So we encourage you to subscribe to our free channel and make sure to click on that notification bell so you can get notified every time we post a new story. Thank you for watching, and we shall see you soon. Bye-bye.